look at the past left drafts. We've got our very first Zendikar Rise and Flash draft today. So for those who haven't seen before, it's a draft where I cut out a little bit of dead time, I'll speed things up a little bit, and you can watch at a little bit of a faster pace. So hopefully there's a little bit more to see, hopefully there's a little bit more entertaining. Let us know what you think. Do you like the format? Do you prefer a slower draft experience? Give us a like and a subscribe. Still a really new channel, and those help so much you have no idea. Hope you enjoy the video and let us know what you think at the end. Looking at pack 1, there's obviously a decent rare here, Inscription of Insight. We've also got Roost of Drakes, which is possibly the best uncommon, almost certainly the best uncommon that's not a BFC. And you can see here Inscription of Insight what it does. I think the Roost of Drakes is the better option of the two here. The other interesting thing to look at here is that you've got Roost of Drakes, you've got the Merfolk Windrider, which is a pretty good blue card, and you've got the Inscription of Insight, which is also a pretty good blue card. And the Black Bloom Rogue, which is obviously the MDFC of the pack, is black. And what I was thinking is, if I'm passing all those good blue cards, and I'm potentially going to have a lot of blue going on my left, and I'm only going to get one of those cards. So I thought I'd go for the black card. I think black's quite good in the format. I think blue is good as well. I think blue might even be a touch better. But I'm quite happy to take the black and be aware that on my left there is going to be a lot of blue. This pack, not a huge amount going on. I didn't go for the Shadow Stinger, but there wasn't much else going on. No decent removal spells. The MDFC wasn't in there either, which is important to note. So it must mean that there was a rare MDFC. Here, the Jaboa, really sweet card. It's cool, does a thing. The other options got black. We've got the Skydiver, but the Kazul's Fury, really good card. MDFC, showing that the red probably isn't open on my right, or isn't being picked very highly on my right. It's basically a fling on the back of a tapped red mana. Again, got a pack here which doesn't have very much going on. There's, the Relic Axe. I'm not necessarily in Warriors at this point, so I don't really want to take that. And there's quite a difficult pick. Dauntless Unity is pretty good go wide, but that's not necessarily what we're doing. Red Black in general is a party set. I went for the Skyclave Sentinel because it's colourless, so it fits in with anything. Here, Subtle Strike's a really good removal spell / combat trick. In the right situation, it can be a 2-for-1. You can also just win you the game at times as well. We've got another MDFC. I don't think Plague Operation is the best MDFC, but the only other option in these colours that we've got so far is Nomada Skydancer. There's some good white cards here, or the Angel Heart Protector is probably the better one here. I don't like Spite the Monstrous. Seagate Banneret is fine, but I would probably prefer it in a red-white aggro deck where you want to get a few creatures out. But the Plague Predation I think is actually still the best card in the pack, and it's in black, which we're definitely in at this point. Getting here, I like the Bug Catcher. It fits with Party, it works well with Party, and it's a really good aggressive card. Then you can see quite a lot of red and black cards around. The Scorch Rider is a pretty good finisher, especially if you're going aggro, and that does seem to be the way that my deck might go on at this point. It can just come down and do 4/3 haste, and that's kind of how you want to play it, but you can just play it without haste as well. And towards the end of the pack, just kind of clearing up, picking the things that are in the colours. Nothing huge going on in the things that I'm passing, and no colours really standing out here. So just waiting for the opponents to pass. Fairly happy with pack 1. Nothing is particularly silly, but it's doing what the deck should do. I think it's playing some good creatures. There's a little bit of removal in there, and the colours do seem to be fairly open. Picked up a couple white cards, just that will go around as well. This pack, Inscription of Abundance, is rare. It's probably the best inscription. I've obviously picked up a couple white cards. There's not a huge amount else going on in the pack. Sizzling Barrage's meh. Synchronized Spellcraft is potentially quite good, but there's some quite good red and white cards in this pack as well. Nothing black that I want. I could have probably gone for the Bug Catcher, but I think that the Furious Fledgling is a super strong card. If that had been a rare, I don't think anybody would really batted an eye at it. Then we've got Vanquish the Weak is the black removal spell. That's obviously common. I think, looking at it now, I think that was probably the best pick, but going for Sign on the Swarm, thinking that there might be some good party. I've already got a little bit of cleric stuff going on, so I could have potentially dropped the red, which isn't doing a huge amount in the pack. and went black-white. So thinking black-white clerics might be open, especially since I already got that really good white creature. Get an interesting pack again, so I've got a Kiri, red-white, rare. It needs equipment to work though, so I thought it's probably not going to be the way I want to go. Still think maybe that black-white deck is what I want to be in. Fledgling can just win games by itself. Thwart the Grave is such a strong card though. I think it's better than Malkia Rebirth here, especially if I'm going to be getting a decent party going. Got a rare in here, but Wayward Guidepiece is unplayable. The Raptor is a really good card to take though. I think it works so well with those MDFCs, which I've got a couple of already. I've got 3 across the 3 colours, but obviously I'm probably not going to play the red one at this point. Get another MDFC, so that's really paying off. The Felidor's pretty good here as well. I think that would be another strong choice, but black's still very open. And I've got the black-white dual land, so that makes us really, really want to go into black-white here. So you can see putting the red cards in the sideboard. Don't think it's where I want to be. There's really strong black, and I think I've got some decent white in what I've picked up as well. As we come in here, we've got another DFC. We've got a good Mind Rot effect, and we've got Malkia Priest. It's cleric. It also works well with party. It does the life gain. I think that was possibly the better card to take. I'm not really want to kind of do that attack and go wide. Coming here, got the Core Blade Master. It's a warrior, kind of counts towards party. But the Core Celebrant is more along the cleric side of things that I want and gains life. Next pack, the black cards and white cards aren't doing it themselves. I take the uncommon. It does fit with red, white as well. So that's kind of doing what I want. Got another decent white cleric here. Interlock Protectors allows you to attack. It works well with cleric synergies. Paired tactics. It's fine. I've got a decent amount of other party creatures in there as well. Got a few. Got a warrior and a few other bits and pieces, and I can maybe pick up some more party stuff to go along with it. Pack 3, Shatacle Smashing. One of the better cards in the set. So looking at this, it looked fantastic. There's not a huge amount else going on in the pack. I'm thinking, well, maybe I can splash a bit of red into this deck as well. I've got some good red stuff in the sideboard and go with it. Bloodchief's Thirst. So going back to maybe that red-black deck I started on, taking some of the white out, going for red-black. This pack, it's really tough at this point. I've got some really good white stuff. I could go for full Mardu. I think I start getting a little bit confused and a little bit uncertain. And seeing that clock ticking down, really not sure what to take. I start trying to look at different sideboard options, but in the end, I just take the Jabur because I think it's the best card in the pack. Royal and Vortex, obviously, didn't even realize this card was in the set, but it's obviously pretty trash. You don't want to play it. It's a little bit playable and standard. Again, there's not really a huge amount else going on in the pack. The only really good card is the Synchronized Spellcraft, and that's obviously red, which it does fit with the Shatacle Smashing. But it's not going really to plan. Royal Eruption, great card. It's pulling us again into red. If I get more red playables, then maybe I can just get a good red-black deck and drop the white. I'm currently thinking probably going to be red-black, but if that doesn't work, I've got a black-white deck which I can fall back on as well. Here, the Farsight Adept, it's going to count towards party because it's a wizard. It's a white wizard, which you don't get very much of. It kind of, in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have taken it. Maybe I should have just went for the red-black and only a very, very light splash of white. But obviously, with that clock ticking, it really makes you stumble on what you're going for. Here, looking at the different cards again, the Ardent Electromancer obviously allows you to ramp a little bit. It fits with red-black. It fits with red-white. And I think that was the best pick. I could have went for the Lithiform Blight to kind of fix my fixing, but went for another red removal spell. And towards the end of the pack, there's been no real strong pulls, but maybe I'm thinking I should have paid a bit more attention to what was going on and what the deck was looking like, and just picked a lane for that lane 3. I think taking the Shatacle Skull Smashing and going red was the correct thing to do, but I should have possibly just really, really focused on trying to build a 2-colour deck, because now I've got a bit of a pile in 3 colours. So you can see here, I've got the full list of cards, or the ones that I think are playable. I've taken a few out which are a little bit less playable, and I'm going to show you a couple of decks. The first one is a black-white deck, splashing a bit of red for those really sweet spells you can see. I'm I actually grabbed this. I had a playtest with a friend, Sam, who you see he's cracking Basham on Twitch. We had a bit of a playtest. It did okay, but there was too many rounds where I was a little bit mana screwed. So the deck I've ended up playing is this red-white deck. I've taken out some of the really nice black cards. There was some really good black bombs that I was really wanting to play, but the splash wasn't worth it. It's the wrong colours for splashing, and the set's not really open to splashing at all either. I thought I'd just go for a fairly low to the ground red-white deck. It's far from the best red-white deck in the world, but with what I had in the end, it was the best deck I could build. So let's go and see how it does in the rounds. Okay, round one, playing against Bolus, Mr. Bolt P. Start off 3 red spells. I've got a Bug Catcher and Electromancer. If I get a white land here, then I can start going off with the Electromancer. On the play, which is good, red-white, that's what I want. Play out the Bug Catcher. Next turn, hoping to get a Plains, so I can play out the Angel Heart Protector, and that's what I got, so pretty happy with that. So this means I can play out that Angel Heart Protector, and then next turn I can do some shenanigans with the Electromancer. Attack 3-2, Trample, Indestructible. I'm pretty happy to attack with that. Obviously they don't want to block, and I get in for 3 damage. They're obviously red-white as well. They're quite aggro, but they're not playing anything, they're not attacking, and I think that's where I like to be in the mirror. There's a little bit of a visual glitch there, I'm not sure what happened. Made a bit of an error here. I think I miscounted on my mana that I had to play. The auto tapper did try and make me tap white for that, but obviously I wouldn't be able to play my second spell. But if I'd held off with the land and played the Jabua, then played the land, I would have given each of these creatures +1/+1, and I would have gained for another 2 damage. Still, I'm pretty happy with my situation here. I've got Dauntless Unity in hand. They play a 4-3. I get the Royal Eruption, so I can remove their 4-3, attack with all my stuff. I can even pump them with that Dauntless Unity and take them down to 1 life. And at that point, I've got 3 creatures on the board. They've got nothing on the board. They're at 1 life. I pretty much can't lose. They need to take out all 3 of my creatures, or at least get blockers for 3 creatures. And you can see that they just scoop. So fast win, just what you want with red-white, and pretty happy with that. Next turn, playing against the Sargon, Cocolorus, open in hand. It's fine. It's a bit creature light, so that's a little bit disappointing. I've only got the Jabot, and I pretty much want a 2-drop in this deck. And there's my 2-drop. So play the Fledgling, much better position to be in here. I've got the Fledgling out. I can play a land next turn, give it a pump, play the Jabot, and then I've got the Scavenge Blade as well, which I can play and probably put on the Fledgling to get in for another 2 damage a turn. I also have the Practice Tactics to help take out any blockers that they've got. They play the Disciple. I sacrifice the Jabot because I think that's the slightly worse card on it. Well, actually, it's quite a bit worse than the Fledgling at this point. I can still play out the Blade. I can get in. I can attack with a 5-3 flyer for 5. Next turn it's going to be a 6-4 flyer for 5. So, yeah, feeling pretty happy there. They do a pretty interesting trick here. So, well, it's pretty standard, but Blood Beckoning to bring back the Demon's Disciple and then make me sack my creature. So, obviously they've got quite a few spells in hand here. I've run out of creatures. I still don't really have any creatures. I could have withdrawn something, and not a huge amount going on. The Worm's a little bit annoying, but I can destroy it straight away. I would love to have a party creature out so I get in for a bit. Flooding a little bit here. I'm running 16 lands, as you saw. And yeah, just the flood feels pretty bad. I get a creature, not really happy with how it's going, but I can equip and leave it Practice Tactics. Not that it's going to do much against the Dreadworm. More removal. So, not feeling very good at this point. Really not enjoying the amount that they're removing. I can kill a worm here before they play a land and get the Indestructible, but they've got 5 lands in hand. I've got 1 pretty useless spell at this point in hand, and I'm not liking my odds. They're just playing out pretty standard spells. I draw more land, not doing very much at all. The flood is absolutely real here. 2-1 flyer, a mill, and yeah, so they've pretty clearly got me over a barrel here. Practice Tactics is doing nothing in my hand. I think it's quite good in the deck. I've got enough things in the deck to make it work. Obviously, I was a little bit short on red-white playables. 4-4 flyer. So strong, so good at this point. They can attack for 8, take us down to 3, and there's pretty much nothing I can do at this point. So, see, wait for the draw, see what I draw, might get something out, but they're just getting back a removal spell and literally nothing I can do anymore. So GG opponent, sweet deck, and I think I did get a little bit unlucky with all the flood going on there. Obviously the Felidar comes out, but that's me done. So fingers crossed it goes a little bit better in the next round. Bronze 1 player here, so obviously feeling pretty lucky. Let's see if the luck holds out. They're going first, but I've got the 2 mountains and the 2 bug catchers. And if I get plains, I'm really happy. I get a mountain instead, but I'm still fairly happy with where I'm stood. I've got the bug catchers and I can start playing stuff out. They're on red-blue. It's the wizards, their colour pair. I've been really impressed by wizards. I think it does quite a lot. They remove a creature, but I've got another one in hand. Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with wizards. I think it's the typical instant sorcery deck. Get a plains. Looking good. But yeah, I think wizards is the typical instant sorcery deck where they just play spells for value. However, the difference is that it has wizards to go with it, so all your spells trigger off wizards as well, the ones that usually care about instant sorceries, and that means that your creatures aren't totally dead as well. So you play wizards, which work off instant sorcery and wizards, and they all kind of work quite nicely together. It's like super tribal, but all your instant sorceries are also in some way wizards as well. See here, I've got quite a good board presence. I've got ways to get around the board wipe, the red board wipe that you get, which does 1 damage or 2 damage if it's kicked to everything, because the Felidar Sovereign does a bit more than that. I can synchronize Spellcraft here, deal them 2 damage. They give it a pump spell, but I take it down to 1 toughness, and I'm happy to trade off any one of these creatures with that 3/3 flyer at this point. They block the Felidar. I think I would prefer them to block the bug catcher, get in for another couple of damage and keep my grown creature, but it's totally fine. Synchronize Spellcraft, don't burn me at all. I've got the Fledgling. I can play that next turn, maybe try and tease out a kill spell from the opponent, but just play out my creatures, take it out of my hand so I can activate the Fledgling again next turn. Also got a removal spell if they play any creatures. Looks like they're going to play a creature. Oh, no. Just basically a bit of a cantrip here. And nothing so far, so means I can tack through. Just tap on the Fledgling down. It's just slowing me down a little bit. It's still going to remain there though, and getting in for quite a bit of damage. So the opponent needs to do something quite special here. I've got a removal spell in hand. I can even play it on my turn. They play Lagak. Not doing a huge amount with it. They're obviously drawn. I choose to remove Lagak in case they happen to draw a counter here, because I want to get rid of it. And that's pretty much game, so I don't think the opponent can do anything at this point to get out of the way. You can see them use the Cleansing Wildfire. I don't think I would play 2. Opponents seem quite good for a Bronze 1 player, but the 2 Cleansing Wildfire, if you're not a landfall deck, I'm not really going to be playing them. Back into playing a gold player. I haven't been doing great this format so far. And yeah, it's been a bit frustrating, what can I say. DSV's doing the thing here, play it out. Obviously I prefer to cast as a fling, but happy to play it there, and if I get my my Raptor, then I can get it back to my hand. They're playing what looks like it could be a bit of an aggro deck as well. Could be Party with a Pack Beast. Not doing a huge amount. This turn, I don't really want to use my removal spell on their Pack Beast, but being able to cast the Electromancer and the removal spell in this turn, and then attack for 3, I think that was too much value to get out, especially in what's looking to potentially be a little bit of a race here. So remove their creature, attack for 3, they don't want to block it, and then I've got 2 decent creatures out and they've only got the 1. I've also got a Synchronized Spellcraft in hand as well, so I do have more removal in hand that I can go forward with. They look a little bit stuck on mana, and I've got some pretty good stuff going on. I didn't get a land, so I'm still a little bit away from that Synchronized Spellcraft, but attack for with a 4/2 and a 3/2. Don't really want to block either one here, and I've taken a decent chunk out of their life total. If it's Scorch Rider, it's not doing huge amounts against me. I've got that Allied Assault in hand, which can do quite a lot of damage. They might not be expecting it as well. I give +3/+3 to 2 things. They block the Scorch Rider, don't block anything else, and I can just pump the 2 and block things and get in for 12. So going full aggro there. That trick at the end was really, really good. The Allied Assault, I think it's called. It's really, really good if you get a decent amount of party. I think with 3, it's incredible. With 2, it's still particularly good as well, especially if you're an attacking deck. So here, 3 mountains, only a Scavenger Blade there, not enough going on with anything else. Here's feeling a little bit better. I'm wanting to play aggro. I am on the play here, so I take out the Core Celebrant. It's not a very aggro card, but I definitely want to play that Fledgling and start attacking with it. Really would have preferred a land, particularly mountain there, but now I've got my 2 spellcrafts, so 2 quite expensive red spells with no mountains in hand and only 2 planes on the battlefield. Royal Eruption's not what I wanted to see here either. Looks like it'll be another red-blue deck, and obviously the luck's not really playing out here, so not getting my lands, I'm not getting the right colours. The Adept gives us a chance to draw something, but I don't really want the opponent drawing anything either. Still not getting that mountain. I mean, if this is happening in a 2-colour deck, imagine what would have happened in a 3-colour deck. It would have been awful. They're really, really getting out aggro here. Still nothing I can do. That cost is really good if you can get the party going. I think if you cast it for 5, you're really laughing. I think getting 2 party members out by turn 5 is pretty doable. I think late game it's just a 7 mana 7/5, and that's fine as well. Opponent really going off with the wizards here. Super aggro. Getting in for 8, taking us down to 9. Really got to pull something out of the bag here to get it, and that, although it is a red source, isn't enough. Couldn't even cast it because I had no red mana on the board. So you can see here, the opponent doesn't block. I was hoping they might block and I might be able to pull something else off, but cleverly they didn't block. Next against Whammy Whammy. He's a Teferi player, so I've hit him already. On the draw, got a good little curve going here. I've got things going on. Red black looking like it could be party. Not giving anything away by playing the white. I've got no reason to play white source turn 2 if I don't need it. Demon's Disciple, they're getting in for 2. They're sacrificing a creature, they're upgrading the creature effectively and removing mine. That's pretty good little play there. I'm not sure on the Disciple generally, but it's kind of wrecked us in these rounds a little bit. Opponent having a bit of a think, attacking through. Don't really want to block that. I want to have the creatures as well, but they're in a pretty good position. The Farsighted Depths of Wizard as well, so it's not really working with our Electromancer. I draw my Shatter Soul Smashing. I'd really like to be able to play it to remove the Bug Catcher and something else. I could play it to remove the Blood Priest and the Disciple at this point, and I just left with the Bug Catcher. That possibly could have been the better play, but what I can do is I can use all my mana, get the Electromancer out, get the Blade out, and then hope to draw the another land for the Shatter Soul Smashing next turn. So, being the most mana efficient I can. I'm not too close to being dead here. They probably don't want to block, and I can start trying to pressure them a little bit. I don't want to block with the 5/3 here. They probably have something to do with it as well. Ravager's Mace seems really strong on this deck. Really, really sweet card. Did toy with the idea of blocking the Bug Catcher, but obviously it has Menace, so I can't block it. So, got to block the Disciple. And if I get a land here, I'm doing pretty good. So if I get a land, I can remove these other 2 creatures, and I've got a 5/3. However, I didn't get a land, and that pretty much seals the game for us. I can play the Shatter Soul Smashing to get the mana for the Spellcraft, but then I'm just dead by equipping the Mace to the Priest next turn. This is going to have Menace, and I'm not going to be able to block it. However, what they do is play one of the cards I'm really missing from my black version of the deck, Thwart the Grave. It's so good. I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet. It's the first time I've seen it played, but it works just as nicely as I was expecting. And they just killed me with the drains. So yeah, just very, very dead. So overall, it was annoying. I do think I was correct to pick that Shatter Soul Smashing. Let me know if you think I was wrong to take that, but I think it was a really good card. I think I had the chance to play it. Just the rest of that pack, I rushed my decisions a little bit and really couldn't decide on a colour palette to go for. I think I should have probably just ignored all the white stuff, picked the good red-black stuff, and carried on that way. However, it isn't quite what it looked at. So that's what we think. I do have a better video coming out, or a more successful draft video coming out at the weekend, so I'd be interested to see what you think about that. And thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon.